Hello everyone, welcome to the premiere episode of the full-length Your Money and Your Life. My name is Larisa Troche. I'm the founder of Pink Passport Society, and on an extended basis, Pink Passport Society is a division of the Larisa Group. So I'm excited to be talking to you about your money and your life, and the reason that I created this program is to encourage women, and in particular, anyone can use this information, but especially women who I want you to be confident and comfortable in asking questions about money. I want you to be confident and comfortable discussing money, and more importantly, confident and comfortable investing and growing your money. So Your Money and Your Life is a show about how to make money, how to invest money, how to grow, but most importantly, how to diversify your income and at the same time create the lifestyle that you desire. So the format essentially would be to talk about topics that are newsworthy, translate the headlines essentially and give it more relevant meaning to your life and what's going on with you, as well as I said, to give you some tools to diversify your income, to grow your income, and create that lifestyle that you deserve. So this episode, as I believe said, is brought to you by Pink Passport Society, which is a community of moonlighters and multipreneurs that is at www.pinkpassportsociety.com. I'm excited to be talking to you via video, but I would certainly be more excited to talk to you, via email. So please write me with any questions that you have, comments on the topics that you've heard about today, as well as the formats, because I want this to be useful information to you, and of course that you will come back again and again to learn more and to keep increasing your financial confidence. So Pink Passport Society is a community for women who are multipreneurs and interested in diversifying their income, becoming more financially self-confident, and collaborating and working with other like-minded women. About me? Well, I'm not sure if I said it. My name is Larisa Troche, and I've had a diverse career background, but one of the most impactful careers I had was I was a financial advisor with a national personal finance investing firm, which I enjoyed the process, and certainly learning more and sharing that information with my clients. Wasn't so excited about the cold calling, so I'm no longer with that company, but I have maintained my interest in personal finance, as well as utilizing the tools and information that I learned during that time. So currently I am the founder, if you will, of Pink Passport Society. I'm a multipreneur. My company is the Larisa Group, and I have various business platforms, primarily business training and management, and of course personal finance coaching. I'm also a real estate broker and business professional, so I'm just excited to be talking to you. So I am, as I said earlier, hoping that you will join the conversation, and the goal going forward, of course, is to perhaps invite you into the conversation. Visit our fan page on Facebook, and it's facebook.com/Pink Passport Society. Frequently during the week I will have a topical Jeep shot, and that's just a little 3-minute video to give you some tips and tools for the day, and of course maybe there's a question, or as I said, inviting you into the conversation. And what I'm really looking forward to is creating contests. So from these episodes of Your Money and Your Life, there will be questions, and those who answer the questions right, or maybe the first person who answers the questions right, will win a prize. So I'm pretty excited about that. So with that said, why don't we get started? And one of the things that, as I mentioned, this is our premiere episode, so we're just laying the groundwork and some context, if you will. So what I want you to think about, if you'll take a minute, grab a piece of paper and get a pen, something to write with. so that, you know, as you listen to the watch the video and the episodes to come, how do you define success? So it's you know, it's we all want to grow money, make money, get more money, invest our money. But, you know, what are you going to do with it? What's your plan? So I want you to step back and define for yourself, well, how do you define success? What does that look like? And when I say success, you know, we talk about business and entrepreneurship. Um, but, you know, everyone's not a business owner, not looking to be a business owner. So success in many ways might be, you know, what does the lifestyle look like for you? You know, how will you know that you've arrived or achieved success? Now that sounds like success is, you know, an end point, and it's not, because once you get there, you know, there's a new destination, there's a new goal, because you've grown so much. So when we're talking about creating wealth or creating success, you know, there really is no end point, because the purpose of achieving wealth and or success is the person that you become on the way. So I want you to just take a minute or so and think about what success looks like for you, what wealth looks like for you. You know, we've all got a different dollar amount, you know, depending on, say, how we were raised, how we were brought up, what our current situation is. And then, of course, who are our peers and our role models. So when we're putting all that together, everyone's going to have a different definition. So it's going to have a different dollar amount. You know, when you think about success, is it a matter of a particular amount of income? You know, how much do you make on a month? How much do you make on a year? Is it about, you know, things? Is it about, is it a car? What's your dream car look like? You know, what's parked in your driveway? Long term, big term, I first wanted to do this as a gift for a wedding present, but I think I kind of like it for myself. So if I was just going to lose my mind and buy my dream car, it'd be a powder blue Bentley. Just so you know. There's no harm in dreaming big, right? But right now I'm focused in a different direction. I'm growing my platforms, and we'll talk about that as we go. But so, you know, is it a fancy car? I don't know. Maybe you're not really into driving. You're more into, you know, activities, or things are nice. They're accoutrements, you know, the trapments of wealth. But when I look at someone who's driving a nice car, never mind I just said I want a Bentley, I think about, mostly what I think about is they just have a fat bill. So I'm not impressed by the trappings, but I do appreciate nice things, and I don't mind paying for nice things as long as I feel like I have received value for that. So like I said, whether it's the car, the house, or the vacations, the tours, the gym membership, or the personal trainer, you know, it could be a dollar amount, and that's a really good question. And then I really hope that you'll take time to consider, how much will you need to where you feel that you have arrived and you can push pause on that hamster wheel of life, you know, when you're just, you know, you don't feel like you're just struggling all the time, or that you have to get up and go to work. So maybe you're not struggling, maybe you enjoy what you do, and that's a beautiful thing, and we hope that you do. But at the same time, while you enjoy it, do you feel that you have to, or do you really have to? Because if you're not doing it, does that mean that your income stops? So when Pink Passport Society talks about multipreneurship, it's diversifying your income, but income that is not reliant upon your physical presence, because, you know, that's very limiting. If you're not there, then clearly you don't earn. So we have to look at other ways to diversify our income, so that we are, you know, as the saying goes, making money in our sleep, or our money is making money for us, and or our team is continuing to make money while you're off doing, you know, other things. So continuing to grow, continuing to expand, but at some point, you know, again, you have to define where it is you're going, what it will look like when you get there. So I want you to take some time to define that, so as we're talking about your money, you will have a better concept of how many streams of income you need, you know, what's reasonable for your lifestyle, for the time that you have to devote to increasing your income. And again, when I'm saying income, it's not, I'm not thinking 9 to 5. I want you to have your core business and a focus, you know, your bread and butter money, but at the same time, you do need to have that passive income and or a team that is doing the work while you're off doing other things. Maybe on the beach with umbrella drinks. That's a favorite visual of mine that I like to talk about. So again, I talked about the Bentley, but what I really want to do, because I mean, you know, I've worked hard. I started early when I joined the Air Force when I was 17. So as I said, I've had a diverse background. So I've been working full time since I was 17, and let's just say I'm long past 17 now. But you know, there's still a lot. I feel like I have a lot to offer, a lot to give, a lot to learn, a lot to do. So, but I've also worked hard. And when I think about that, you know, lifestyle to me is being able to, you know, once a month or whatever the time frame is, to go visit what I call destination spas, so that I'm out and about, and that's, you know, uber relaxing. You know, have someone else take care of me instead of being the caretaker all the time. So that is something that's really huge for me. I'm just now starting to take more vacations, because if you don't plan it, if you don't just drop everything and do it, it's really not going to happen. So I'm actually a little bit re-energized. I don't know how energetic I look today, but coming off of, you know, I decided to take the summer off and do some reassessment and just kind of really drill down as to what it was I wanted to work for. And out of the tools, you know, I have many, like I said, a big background, lots of education. From the tools that I have in my toolbox, you know, to drill down what's really important to me, and all the other pieces, I think, kind of come back to this one issue that I'm talking to you about, which is personal finance. So that's why I wanted to devote some time to, you know, having that conversation, and really fine-tuning the message, so that out of all the other things that Pink Passport Society, the Larisa Group, offers, you know, the bottom line is financial success and financial confidence, financial education. So that, my word, was, again, just giving you some context and helping you to start your own conversation or your own list, bullet points, however you do it, you know, what success looks like for you. So define it, envision that lifestyle, so that you know where you're going, and you'll recognize it when you arrive. So, I mean, that's pretty huge. You know, we can get on that treadmill or hamster wheel, and we're working hard, and we're just working hard, and my goodness, yeah, we're working hard, but what is the end result? Where are we going with all this labor? So I want you to have some purpose and direction as we carry on the conversation on your money and your life. So we don't have commercial breaks, but I did need a little sip of water, getting a little dry in there. So one other thing before we talk about today's topics is, you know, I'm an avid reader. I was, didn't say that. I was a global nomad, so that means that I traveled around. My father was in the military, and so we traveled a lot. And so being the new kid on the block all the time, I just happen to be one of those people. I turn out to be very shy and reserved, but I always had a book in my hand, so I was very bookish. Good student, all that fun stuff, but I'm an avid reader, and I carry that through to today, which one of the things in a previous video I mentioned that the average person, studies have shown, read less than 1.2 books, and of course, you know, that's a statistic, that's where that decimal point comes in. But, you know, one book a year for the average person, that is just such a foreign concept to me, because there's just so much information and inspiration inside a book, and to me that, you know, helps ask questions, and it keeps your mind growing and expanding and looking for, you know, ways to be inspired and inspire others. And so I can't remember where I read it, but one of the things that's really important to me is making my life count. So I am encouraging others to think about what their legacy might be. You know, there's always a time when we have to say goodbye to a loved one, and to me that starts that introspective conversation about, you know, what's the purpose of life? When I leave, who's going to cry? Or, you know, what does my time on earth mean? And so when that's a goal that I'm working toward, and I encourage our members to work toward crafting their own personal legacy. So as I said, one of the, I don't remember where I read it, but it was a quote by Ernest Hemingway. And it was such, it just really stayed with me. And again, it helped keep it in the forefront of my mind. So a 6-word bio, which, it sounds like, you've got the book, it's an autobiography, a memoir, etc. But if you just encapsulate your life in 6 words. So for Ernest Hemingway, his bio was baby shoes for sale, never used. So think about that for a second. Baby shoes for sale, never used. 6 words, very simple, but very evocative. So when I think about my purpose and my time on this earth, I certainly want to make sure it counts. And so that I like to say late to the party, but like I said, I was always in my books. And so this is new for me to get out and to be more engaged with people on this level in such a visible platform. But it's just huge. And so I really make an effort when I'm with someone in person to be with that person and to make sure that I am present for that person and having a positive impact and leaving that person uplifted and inspired. And so that my work through Pink Passport Society and hopefully the Larisa group by extension will have some meaning for those who come after me, and that Pink Passport Society goes on in perpetuity. It's California Corporation, blah blah, that's a legalese. But so I have changed from being that shy girl, because every time I talk to my sisters about hugging somebody, they're just shocked for some reason, and I don't know why they're shocked, but it's just, that's what they keep telling me, so I don't know who I was. But anyway, so my new persona, or my more mature persona, is, and my 6-word bio today is one world, one love, open arms. And so I feel that that expresses my intention, which is to embrace others, meet them where they are, other cultures, other personalities, other skill sets, other interests, and be with that person as they are and welcome them, probably with a hug if you're standing still. I'm still very much in that mindset that, I just want to welcome everyone into the fold. And so sometimes that's a metaphorical hug because everyone doesn't want to be hugged, but that is my intent when I'm with someone, and that's how I deal with people today. And I have a bigger vision, obviously, for what I want to leave behind, but that is, again, just as a snapshot. And so, again, with that pencil and paper, if you would take a few minutes to write down your 6-word bio, what is it, where are you now? Or more specifically, how do you want to be remembered? And I would ask you to do it both ways. Write down your 6-word bio, which describes your present circumstances, and again, write down your 6-word bio, which describes who you hope to become. Where are you going, and how do you want people to remember you, or how do you want people to see you? What is the gift that you hope to leave or to share with this world? So not to make you morbid, I just, again, want to give you some purpose and a foundation for the money conversation. Who are you today? Who will you be tomorrow? Well, who are you becoming? And, of course, that will help you when you are looking at ways to diversify your income. That will help you with that decision, those 2 steps, defining your success and creating your bio. One thing that you will probably hear about way too many times is the impact that music has on me. And so, in particular, when I have, some heavy-duty work that I have to do, or maybe something I don't want to do, if I have to do housework, I want to crank up some dance music, right? So music is very important in my life, and again, these are late discoveries, and so I'm trying to cram it all in. It's like if I think it, I feel like I should be able to do it. So I'm trying to get in all my living every day, just because you just don't know, right? So music is very impactful for me, and I have music with all of my work. And one song that when my son first bought the CD, I didn't actually like it because it was a departure from the artist's previous work. So I didn't really listen to it until probably several years later. This is Michael Jackson. I don't know if you're familiar with his music, but one thing about Michael Jackson is he was amazing. He was an amazing artist. And for me, we were relatively close in age. I can't remember, one of us is older by a year or two or something or other. But relatively close in age. So, as he was growing up, I was growing up, and so the Jackson 5, and then of course Michael Jackson. So that was music that was part of my childhood. But what was, important to me, or was really noticeable to me, is how his music crossed generations. So even as a child, we enjoyed his music. But both of my children, who are now adult, my sons are grown up, but each of them, in their youth and their adulthood to some degree, I enjoy the music of Michael Jackson. Long introduction, but the song is called History. And the reason I really hope that you'll listen to that song is, I could have started off this as the chapter, or the topic rather, for this episode of Your Money in Your Life. Every day you have the opportunity to create your history. And that's what that song is about. It's a nice long song. It's got a great beat, so you can do your housework or work out to it or whatever. But at the same time, while you're dancing to it, take some time to listen to the lyrics, because that's hugely important for you to realize that you have the opportunity. Every day, life is a choice. And so I'm encouraging you to make some choices to grow into your possibility. So I hope that, my words, Michael Jackson's words, however, you are inspired, or however you intake your information, realize and take action upon that concept, that every day you create your history. So the question is, what do you want that history to be? So, good food for thought as we are winding into probably our last topic for today, is our premiere episode. And again, this is all foundational, so each future episode that will come out, we'll post every Friday on YouTube. So the Larisa group is the channel, but for context for future videos, I mentioned it in the beginning and throughout, the whether you believe, and I'm in the terms, I try to really skim the news headlines. I don't really want to pay too much attention to it, because a lot of it's bad news, is doom and gloom. I can do doom and gloom on my own, so I don't need to watch the news to get that. So I don't pay a lot of attention to it. But again, as I am interested in personal finance, I do pay a lot of attention to the economic headlines in the news and the features that we need to know about to make our decisions. In many ways, because a lot of the news is macro, on a grand world or global scale, national scale, whereas in my world, in many ways, I'm focused on the micro view. How does it impact me, my family, my circle personally? And so that's probably more of what I'll be talking to you about. But where I was going with that is, there have been some changes over the last few years, and so, the terminology is that this is the new economy. So I'm hoping that you do read and, ask questions. So one of the terms that are being tossed about are, within this new economy, people have to work differently. So as a member of Pink Passport Society, or someone I hope will become a member of Pink Passport Society, I'm really encouraging our members and others to become engaged in entrepreneurship. Keep your 9 to 5, become a moonlighter, grow your business on the side, however you choose to do it, but multipreneurship, multiple revenue streams. Multipreneur, in my mind, is, having more than one business. So that's just a really simplified definition, and there are, endless ways to make money. I was just, not a suggestion, but I was just looking at Craigslist for my son, and I ran across, there's you may know about something called Zipcar, where you can just rent a car for the day. I think you have to put it on deposit, but you drive the car and you just pick it up and you drop it off, which, was pretty interesting. But this company is called, I want to say Get Around. Pardon me for not looking that up, being accurate. GetAround.com, and what it is, just regular average Joe, you can rent your own car, I think it's local to San Francisco, but it was just such a novel idea. I love innovation and people who come up with these brand ideas. I'm like, oh, V8 moment. How come I didn't think of that? This isn't my area. But just regular Joe wants to make some extra money, and they quote a few hundreds to a few thousand depending on how available you make your car. But say you live in a big city. Parking is outrageous, so you may keep your car parked for the whole week until the weekend. While that car is parked, that car could be making money, so you rent it out during that week or whatever period of time that you want to make the car available. That's just certainly some passive income, or certainly it was just a creative way. So when I say there are so many ways to make money, I mean that's just one really wacky idea. Who'd have thunk it? So it's just cute. So what I'm saying, when I say multipreneur, I don't want you to get locked into what that really means or what that could mean. I don't want you to just think it only means one thing. I want you to think about, even investing is when you're getting income from that, or making it grow, hopefully making it grow, depending on what your needs are. That's, in my mind, that's included in being a multipreneur, because you are diversifying your income and your assets are growing as you are an investor, whether that's a stock investor, real estate investor, or anything in between, because there's so many different subcategories when you say stock investing and or real estate investing. So investing is one. One of my personal favorites, and I think we'll probably spend lots of time talking about this one, is peer-to-peer lending. Now, I believe, I don't remember the second one, but the one I'm involved with is called Prosper.com. And just what it sounds, peer-to-peer lending. Prosper, I joined them several years ago, before they went public, and they had a whole year, it seems like, when they had to go dark, and they couldn't have any new business, or anything could happen. The loans that you made already were still active. But anyway, so it was just a little drop off because they had that period of going public. But Prosper.com, people can borrow money for business, debt consolidation, or to reestablish credit, or any kind of reason you could look at. So each borrower creates a profile of why they want to borrow money, and then you as a lender will bid on that particular loan. And so it was just really, again, with the innovation, it's just a fascinating concept the way they did it. Call it eBay for lending, I don't know. So you can be a borrower or you can be a lender, but if I'm talking to you about multipreneurship, then obviously I hope that you'll become a lender. And the way they do it is it's not you're lending any one person thousands of dollars. You take your $1,000 and you divide that up into, oh my gosh, I didn't do the math. What is it, 200? Oh, shame on me for not knowing. 20 $50 loans. I think that might be the right math. But anyway, so they encourage you to keep your loan per person low, so that diversifies your risk. But what's attractive about this is that, say the person who wants to borrow money, they say, okay, I need $20,000 and I am willing to pay the lender, 28% interest. Now, no one's going to pay 28% interest on $20,000, but that's where the bidding starts, right? So you, as a lender, and all the other lenders out there, they're saying, okay, well, we want to make the loan to this person, so we're going to get our principal back, but we're going to also get some interest earnings on our principal. So we will say, okay, I'm willing to loan you the $50 at 20%, right? And so it just kind of goes back and forth until, either you win the bid or someone else won it and you go on. Now, the key to that is that you do it, they have an automated system or a manual system. I tried the manual, which is so very exciting, but first of all, I never got it, or maybe like only once or twice. But what I was doing is I was always on the computer checking, did I get it, did I get it, did I win the bid? And so obviously that was not a good use of my time. So what they do is they let you set up some automated lending, which is a much better way to go, because again, with the passive part, right? So you just want to check them periodically. So Prosper, screams at people, make sure they are who they are. There's verifying everybody's bank account and this, that, and the other. So I want to use the word, I feel that it's pretty safe. They've loaned millions, I want to say, and they have several thousand lenders and borrowers. So that's my last tip for today, is Prosper.com, and we will continue the conversation about multipreneurship, because there's just, like I said, many different ways to make money and grow your assets. And so that, my goodness, is today's Jeep Shot. It's been very fun being with you, and I look forward to continuing the conversation. And please do let us know what you think. please send me an email at guidedjourney.com, guidedjourney.com, excuse me, guidedjourney@pinkpassport.org. Hey, first time. guidedjourney@pinkpassport.org. Leave me your comments. How did you like the video? Leave me your questions, and I will just be delighted to answer your questions on our next episode. So that is today's episode of Your Money